Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to go ahead and throw up another quick video for today. And today I did an ESXi video, and now I'm going to move over to a firewall video. This firewall I currently have in my environment is ran on physical hardware. It's going to be ran on a checkpoint firewall, and the operating system is based on FreeBSD. It's called Pfsense. Anyone can get this. It's free for download, and you can install it on older legacy PCs. It doesn't require much to run this, and it's fairly easy to configure, and it's very neat. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos on Pfsense as I'm going through the learning curve for it. But the first thing I wanted to show you was their actual website. So if you go to, or just do a Google search, pfsense.org, and we get to here, they'll talk about the virtual appliances. They have paid solutions for firewalls that are pre-built for home and enterprise. Those do cost money, the support costs money, but the OS itself is free. It's open source. And of course there's always paid training, which I would actually like to do someday. But there's a lot of other cool videos out on YouTube for training for this as well. So I'm going to just kind of go through the download and stuff. So the version you can choose. Now, the little bit older one, I believe you can actually choose the architecture i386 for 32-bit. The newer version you cannot. So the file type, you're going to choose install if you're doing this for the first time. And say you want to, like mine had to be 32-bit because it is a firewall and it is 32-bit. Now the installer, you're going to want to pay attention to this. If you're going to be using a CD image or an ISO, whether the PC or device has a CD-ROM drive or you have a USB bootable CD-ROM drive that you can use, embedded nano BSD or USB mem stick installer. Now that's what I used. I used the program to install it onto a USB, and then I booted from USB and installed it onto the thing. And during the install, I just want to mention this, during the install, because I was on actual firewall hardware, there is no VGA support, there's nowhere to hook up a monitor, so the one thing I had to do is get it's called a rollover cable. It pretty much goes from a Cat5 Ethernet or RJ45 connection into a terminal connection or serial connection, and then you use a program like Putty to connect into it, and then you see it through there, and then you have to adjust the baud rate and things like that. So that's where you download. That kind of gives you some tips on that. There's plenty of information out there to Google if you need more information on that. And Community Edition. So go in here. I'm going to go ahead and show you the dashboard for Pfsense. And you'll get to a login screen, and you're always going to want to change the default password. The default password for Pfsense is the word Pfsense, all lowercase. The login admin. Of course, I did go ahead and change that password to a more complex password. So this is your dashboard. You have a WAN interface and a LAN interface, and you can configure which ports do what. You can assign those, but I want to go through the system information. You can see version 2.3.5_2 is available, but I still have yet to back that up, and I can kind of go through on how to back that up. It'll give you your uptime. It'll give you your temperature of your CPU, so 39 degrees Celsius. Your CPU usage, 11%, and this is a very minimal CPU in here, by the way. Memory usage, there's 1 gig of memory in here, and currently I'm using 6% of it. I believe it's a pretty small disk drive, and I'm not using very much of that either. So, like I said earlier, it can install on older legacy systems. Now, you can change and configure your dashboard. You can add additional stuff in here that you want to see on your dashboard. Like I added the traffic graphs to see incoming and outgoing traffic. Let's see. So interfaces, assignments. This is where you can assign your interfaces, the interface groups. Now this can be a router, a firewall, a VPN, many different things. Right now, currently, I only have it set up as a firewall. I do not have wireless technology in the device that I have, so I cannot configure any wireless stuff for it. So I had to put my router with wireless into transparent bridge mode and able to connect into that. But you can do VLANs, and OpenVPN is on here, which is really cool. So you can create your own VPNs, diagnostic information. In here, if you go under, I believe it would be, let's see. Alright, let's go under status and then go under interfaces. And then you can see in here, it'll provide the information. There's a cert manager, package manager, your routing, your setup wizard. You can update. Now, diagnostics. This is what I wanted to go in here. Backup and restore. This is very important because once you get it all configured, you don't want to lose that information and all that time you spent to configure it. So you want to do backup area all. Then you want to download the configuration as XML file. And then to restore, say you have to re-image the device, you can re-image, come in here, restore all, choose the XML file, and then restore the configuration. All your configuration comes right back. So you're just going to download it. It's going to download. Takes a few seconds. Done. And you want to get back to that main dashboard. You just click on the Pfsense Community Edition, and you are back. Of course, they have the gold where they want you to pay for certain support services and whatnot. And of course, your help. There's free documentation, a lot of documentation, user forms, Pfsense book, paid support, free BSD handbook, which is kind of nice. Now I have another FreeSB server running an environment running NFS. And that'll conclude today's video. If you like me, do the thumbs up. Any comments, list it below. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Bye.